take this flag too. That's why America.
Long live John Africa. OnaMove.
That's right, partner.
All right, I just wanted to say a little bit about my thoughts on all of this. I've been studying MOVE for a while, and we've been talking a lot about what was done in the past, what the bombing and how it happened. And I know that the mass media would say that the excuse for that, the legitimate excuse for that, is the problems that supposedly the movement was causing in the community, which we all know are not legitimate reasons to bomb a house and kill people of every generation inside. So what was possibly the real reason is just to appeal to some of you maybe who might not otherwise listen or might not know. What would be the real reason that the state would perform terrorism on a small community? And a lot of people don't really know what MOVE originally stood for, what it was originally about. Having studied it for a while, I came to understand that what it was originally about was sustainability and true economic independence from a capitalist system. And I think that when the government, the local government, and the national government saw that, they did what they, of course, are going to do in the face of such a movement. They're going to stamp it out before it has a chance to take root and become strong. If any of you might think that this is beyond the scope, the capability, ethically speaking, of the government, of the United States government, or of any government, all you need to do is look at some of the trends in history, in American history. The United States was founded upon genocide and slavery. Based on that alone, you know that the United States government has never been innocent, has never been the heroes that the propaganda, that the mass media proclaims them to be. So there's no reason to think that they wouldn't do what they did in 1985 to the MOVE organization, an organization whose intention was to free themselves entirely from any economic dependence on a capitalist system. Of course, those of us who have a difficult time acquiring financial resources are going to take a movement like that and run with it. So of course the government would terrorize and attempt to squash such a movement. Another thing that I noticed about it, if you take a look at some of the United States government's history of policies domestically and internationally, the United States government has always even supported dictators in Latin American countries. Some of the same dictators that it criminalizes later. If any of you have ever heard of Trujillo, Trujillo was a Dominican dictator put in place by the United States government, who after being put in place by the United States government in a place of power, decided that he was going to draw a line between the Dominican Republic and Haiti and declare an enemy of the state, of his state, any Haitian, anybody visibly of African descent in the Dominican Republic. His intention was to make the Dominican Republic as white a state as possible. And this man is the type of man that the United States government supports in Latin American countries and in the Caribbean. So there's no reason to think that the United States government has any true compassion for the communities, for people of color. We're the ones who have built every nation in this hemisphere. We're the ones, not only who have built every nation in this hemisphere, but who even continue to heal your wounds when you're sick, guard you while you sleep, and perform every task that you don't want to perform yourself. And get low pay, usually not a livable wage, less and less of a livable wage as time goes on. So I believe that we need to continue the movement, not only to free the Move 9, but even to continue the movement of securing for ourselves true economic independence, freedom from a capitalist system, especially by growing your own food. A lot of you may not know about the Monsanto Corporation, but another movement that's taking hold, another major capitalist movement that's taking hold, is genetic modification of the food such that farmers cannot even grow their own food. Farmers, grocery stores for our food. I wanted to free myself from that a while ago, a few years ago. And I found out that a major corporation, Monsanto Corporation, was genetically modifying the seeds of most produce, and that they have nearly a monopoly on most of the distribution of produce around the world. And they genetically modify the seeds so that you can't grow the food yourself. So that the seeds that sprout in the fruit or the vegetables are either infertile or absent.